How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the episode 3 of our Card Clash battles. Here we have a very special guest here today, Ronald. My name is Ivan Kopas. I'm a senior technical trainer with AWS, and I've been playing different folks at AWS to try and understand a little bit about what's their role, what are they working on, and also give us an opportunity to play each other in this amazing architectural game that you get to learn more about today. If you missed the previous episodes, I'll link the previous 2 episodes so you can easily check them out here. Welcome, Ronald. Thanks for joining me here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role?
Thank you very much, Ivan. Yeah, my role in AWS is a solution architect. Basically, what I do is to work with different customers, different areas, and even different countries. And actually, I need to address their solutions for their problems. It's like I need to identify what are their requirements and then identify what's the best architecture, what are the best practices for their use case, as well as in case they encounter a problem, I need actually to help them to address this problem. It's not a support role. It's mainly focused on architecture, designing, also engagement and enablement. So basically, it's like I also need to train them somehow in order to basically understand how a solution is better than another one.
Amazing. And you're based out of Madrid, right? You're based out of Spain, and
Um,
mostly work with the customers in the European and the EMEA region. So are you traveling a lot about your role with that? Okay.
Yeah, it's like my customers are mainly focused in Spain, as you mentioned, and they are distributed in Madrid, Barcelona as the main core cities. And obviously, there are some customers spread across Spain. So obviously, some of the meetings I have with them is they are all virtual, but it is true that some of the engagements we need to perform, some of the sessions we need to perform, is better to address them on site. It's like, so I travel to their offices or they even come to our office. And then over there, it's like we have this personal engagement and also this personal focus on specific needs. And basically, after having identified that this cannot be possible, or this is not going to be as fruitful as if we were in virtual.
Gotcha.
And so that's the idea.
Gotcha. And I know you're a security specialist, Ronald, but you actually dove into all the other domains as well, right? You have all the certifications, if I'm not mistaken. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about why did you decide to get them all and what's next for you?
I will start answering the what's next. The next is preparing the last certification that came up on the last Monday. And so again, start to prepare for that. So far, yes, I got 14 certifications, even more
Okay.
than available so far.
And this new exam that you're just mentioning is the Certified Generative AI Developer Professional exam, which was just recently, a few weeks ago, announced. And it's actually today, the day of our recording. This video will come out in a day or two, but today, the day of our recording on Tuesday, November 18, is when the beta registration opens. If anyone else is interested in getting certified, this brand new certification, you'll have the ability to register as soon as you see this video. But now, tell us about these other certifications. And you mentioned you have 14 currently. This currently has 12 plus this new one, which is 13. So how do you have 14?
Yeah, and the thing is that the story started in 2019. Actually, I
Mhm.
got first one, which was the Solution Architect Associate, an associate certification. So it means that the level is not
Mhm.
high level, it's mid level, let's say somehow. It's not it's not a foundational, it's not a practitioner. But the thing is that I was working as a developer and also touching the architecture. That came 6 years ago, actually. Time passes very fast.
Yeah.
So I started with that, and then I started to prepare to different associate and even the architect professional
Mhm.
certification with the goal. I always say the same thing. The goal is to learn. The goal is not the certification. Okay.
Yeah.
And actually, that's my tip. If someone asks me, okay, what do you recommend? It's okay. Study for learning. Don't study for actually getting the
Yeah.
certification,
Exactly.
because this is the way, I think, in order to be proficient and also to trust and make the others trust on what. So since then, I performed different or I obtained different certification as associate, professional, and once I completed, let's say, the core of certifications, associate, professional, even red practitioner, I moved to the specialty ones. And at the time, there was different specialty certifications, which are not now available anymore, like
That's
the
true.
data.
Analytics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
And you
this is why
mentioned,
I still have two extra because they
yes.
that haven't expired yet.
Yeah. And you mentioned also to me before we started talking here that you're a member of security technical field community. So I'm a member of the AIML technical field community, but why don't you tell us a little bit about what are these technical field communities within AWS that specialists can join different domains on?
Yeah, and actually, I'm member of the two TFC communities. I'm from the security TFC, and in the next, what you call the next generation developer experience, we basically
Excellent.
community for developers. And over there is we are a group of experts in security or in development. Actually, we dive in the different services and different tools regarding these domains, and we share across each other and this knowledge, as well as we are in touch with customers who actually have a specific need by contacting also with their account team. So we are, let's say, this group of experts within AWS who are actually covering some specific or very specific areas within these domains, as well as help each other at the end.
Excellent. Excellent. If anyone's interested in becoming a solution architect, if anyone's interested in diving deep into next generation developer tools and security, it sounds like you're definitely the right person to speak with on that. But with that, I have one question for you, Ronald, and that is, are you ready for a game with me? Of course. All right, let's get started. Then I'm going to create a match here that's in the AWS Card Clash. I'll include the links to where you can access the game. You can access it on the desktop. You can access it on your iOS device, Apple devices, as well as all the Android devices. And if you missed a little bit of intro and the background behind the game, the first episode where I spoke with Curtis, who's the product manager for game-based learning, who built out this game, will be really interesting to check out. And then some additional games that we played with the enterprise. So initially, Marco, who got last time, I'll include that link here in the comment section. So with Curtis, we explored the cloud partition island. With Marco, we explored the solution architect islands. Ronald, why don't you and I check out generative AI or serverless developer? What do you think about serverless developer? That sounds really close to the TFC one.
Sure. Yeah,
That's fun. All right, so let's select the serverless developer. This is going to be the RMB.key is going to be the chaos agents in this one. And then let's select maybe one of these simpler options. They're not going to last us as long. Reduce the volume here so we can hear each other a little bit better. So with that, why don't we choose what appeals to you from 1 to 5? I'll give it to your, what's your preference? Which one do you lose it in?
Not special preference, but let's go with the first. So I go in order.
Let's do a single page application. We're going to have a set of serverless services here, a whole across the entire spectrum of how do we build APIs? How do we construct the content delivery networks? How do we authenticate users with Cognito? There's some NoSQL database with DynamoDB. Of course, Lambda has to be there when you talk about serverless. It's a serverless compute service. And then there's also storage, object storage as. So let's say play online here. I'm going to create a game and I'm going to invite here Ronald to join. So Ronald, if you're typing this code on your end and join me. Okay. All right. So the game has loaded. It looks like the Ronald has been receiving the favor of a first player turn. So Ronald's going to play here first. And you can see on my screen what cards I have. Let's see what Ronald's going to play here. There's a set of builder cards you could use to increase your energy. There's a set of builder cards you can use to cover some of the slots on the board. And then there's also some security cards. So you'll get to see as we play along how this works. So are you able to capture any of the fields, Ronald?
Yeah, I'm on it.
All right. Our Ronald captures API gateway. All right. And okay. So I think you potentially may have run out of time. I saw that you tried to capture Lambda, but it didn't go through. Okay, so I'm going to play here next. I'm going to use collaboration board card here to increase the energy to 6, and I'll have 6 points to cover a variety of things. So I'm thinking this run code without thinking about servers, that sounds to me like a Lambda. And that's what Ronald tried to capture right before he ran out of time. So I'm going to steal that, and I'll even have to pay any extra to steal it. And we can see here, there's also a vehicles table that the Lambda function, when it receives a request through API gateway, is going to be needing to retrieve some items using get item from this item info tables. I'm going to use actually RDS. It says here that it's NoSQL database. So RDS is actually relational database service. I'm going to toss this before I confuse myself and try and capture this. What I am going to, however, try and do is take API gateway from Ronald. So I'm going to capture that, and I'm going to actually, let me see, can we use application firewall? Yes, we can. So we can use the application firewall to protect the API gateway so Ronald cannot steal it from me, just like I stole it from here. So with that, it's your turn. Ronald, you play next.
Yeah, we're lucky. Because actually, I
Oh,
don't have
sure,
that.
sure.
I will have to protect myself. No, I'm going to
Ronald,
discuss management
Ronald
console.
spent all last night training in practice.
Yeah, I will start to place the DynamoDB, and
Wow, well done.
I don't have
Right.
any way to protect my cards.
That's right. Rolls at 0 right here. When you don't have any energy, you can't capture any cards. So I'm going to use the management console here to increase my energy level to 1. And this, to me, delivering content sounds like a content delivery network. So that is what CloudFront is. So I'm going to try and capture that here. And with that, I do have EC2 service, but this is a serverless island. So this is very likely to be useful and needed. So I'm going to actually go ahead and toss EC2, which is a managed service, not a serverless service. And then I also already have Lambda capture, so I'm not going to use that. I'm going to toss that. And I have 2 Cognito cards. This is going to be probably Cognito right here or right here below. So I'm actually going to toss that, one of those. I'm going to keep the other. So you can see this is a blend of architecture, knowledge about services, but also strategy. And according to Ronald Block as so this is the end of my turn. So your move, Ronald.
Okay, cool. Over there, it mentions that request artifacts. So actually, I would say that oops, can place actually the S3.
You don't have enough energy. Do you have any energy cards?
No, actually not. Okay, I'm going to discard the EC2, as you mentioned. That makes sense. I'm going to protect actually I don't know if I can. Your CloudFront. Yeah, actually, I protected the DynamoDB.
Yeah. You can only protect the cards, the slots you already own. Yeah. Okay. So this works.
Yeah. And so I'm going to discard the API way we already have. And I have 2 lambdas, so like 2. So with that, I'm going to
I'm such a nice guy. I'm sharing all my cards on the screen so Ronald can transparently see them as I'm. All right. So I have 1 card. I keep getting these EC2 instances. This is a serverless solution, so I'm definitely not going to need that. And I have 2 DynamoDB cards, but Ronald just captured it with his security card, so there's no way for me to steal these anymore. So I'm actually going to set that out as well and remove those. I would like to capture this static content slot, which is using object storage, which is S3, out of which you can host any static content like static web pages, HTML, JavaScript, CSS, style sheets, but I actually don't have enough energy. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to try and protect what I do have, like this Lambda function, and I'm going to use identity access management to protect that card. Now, I need both of these cards because I do need Cognito to authenticate my user, and I need S3 to serve the static content. So I'm going to try and keep these and just hope that I'm going to get some of the high energy cards next.
Yeah, it looks like actually you're lucky because I don't have enough energy as well. So I'm going to get rid of some of my cards.
Okay.
So let me, actually, I think I cannot do anything regarding what I have. Just discard my cards and move forward.
This is where you also gotta have good strategy. You gotta get rid of any cards that you're unlikely to need. Look at this. I have 3 S3 slots. What are these? I don't have enough energy to capture any of them over here. So I'm actually gonna throw these out. I'm gonna throw out both of these. I'm gonna throw out the duplicate Cognito card that I have. I do not need Lambda because I already capture that as stolen. So I'm going to get rid of that as well. And with that, I'm now thinking, what should I do? Because this creature right here looks like it's about to lose it at any moment now. And if that happens, it may destroy some of the cards that I have. So what I'm going to do is let's keep it. Let's keep these cards and enter in here. And let's see what's
Okay.
Ronald going to play.
Yeah. So now it looks like I can do something.
Let's. Yeah, I
So
don't have enough energy.
I'm afraid of what you can do. But yeah, I need to pass after removing my cards. So let me discard all my not needed cards. Let's move on.
All right, so let's see, what can we do here? Now, you got to think about here. I'm in the lead. That's 6-4. It's barely in the lead, but I'm still in the lead. And don't have a lot of energy. So what I'm going to potentially do is try and protect what I have. So I'm going to increase the energy by 1 with the management console. I'm going to try to actually, I have enough energy now to protect this CloudFront and also to capture Cognito as well. So that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to capture Cognito here and capture this. Now, as we end turn, this is it. This was a quick game. Great job. Game finished. Well done, Ronald. Better luck next time. I'm showing up here. So I got lucky today. I won. But if you check out the previous 2 episodes I played with Curtis and Marco, there was 1 draw and then there was 1 loss. So I think I'm even at this point. I have 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 draw here. And of course, this was a pretty quick game, so we didn't get a chance to see the Chaos agent lose it and try to destroy things across the board. But hey, this is where you can go in and play some more games. I'm sure you'll see it lose it at some point. So any loser speech that you'd like to give, Ronald?
The important is to have fun and actually have it.
Exactly. And with that, again, everyone check out the Card Clash game. It's a phenomenal way to either play against a computer or play against someone you can beat, like I just did. And it's a lot of fun. Gives you the opportunity to do some trash talk, to learn about architectures, to work through the chaos agents and showing things across the board. But most importantly, Ronald, where can people find you? What social medias are you on? And also, what are some of the closing thoughts that you have?
You can find me in LinkedIn, especially. I also have a Twitter, like next account, but especially I use LinkedIn. My recommendation is if you're going to pursue something, pursue because what it means, not for what it represents. Like certifications, okay, are nice to have, but it is more important to have the knowledge, as I mentioned before. And once you have the knowledge, you're going to get the certifications. And when you get the certifications and the knowledge, then you can move your role. You can promote. Actually, you can, if you are interested in changing the company, or if you are going to promote within your company, you will have it easier to go forward. And then regarding actually being more specific about certifications, don't go for the hardest one first. Follow basically in AWS, we have many documents, blogs regarding what's the best path for your role. Follow these paths and then obviously follow also what you want to achieve. And with that being in mind, you will go wherever you want.
All right. Beautifully put together. Thank you so much for joining me, Ronald. Thank you all for tuning in. Stay tuned for any future episodes. Let me know if you'd like me to bring in any other folks working across AWS. And thank you, Ronald, for joining me today. I'll catch you all